Sorry for it's being silly. Speaking of, my video today is going to be on this weird trend I tend to see online is these why are you taking that mouthful of food, you crazy ferret? Anyways, is animal rights activist type people, and you know how much I hate them. Anyways, saying well, on a cute picture of a ferret, or a video of a ferret, like a particular line I've seen, it was a video is a happy ferret does whatever, and then someone commented, I bet it'd be a lot happier in the wild, and anyone who's ever owned a ferret is like, no! Anyone who knows anything about domesticated animals, no, they would not be happier in the wild, are you fucking kidding? And here's why. So yeah, I have a pet ferret, and she's adorable. And she also has no idea how to take care of herself, and she's completely not afraid of anything. Like, at all. Like, when she first met my cats, who were like 3 and 4 times the size of her, she was like, oh, hello, let's play. And the cats were like, what the fuck is this new pet in the house? And they were scared of her. She wasn't scared of them. So if a predator comes along, she'll be like, oh, hi, friend. The predator will be like, easy lunch. The reason why our cats didn't hunt hers because they have plenty of food and they're not used to their prey being like, hi, how are you? Also, a ferret's a tad bigger than a mouse. So, yeah, so first, and she doesn't know how to hunt. She knows if she's hungry, she goes to the food bowl, she gets some food, and she's happy. She's thirsty, she goes over to the water bottle or water dish that I have in there for her, and then she's happy. And if she has to go to the bathroom, she goes to the litter box, and she doesn't even cover up her shit, so, like cats do to hide their smell. Because cats can survive in the wild a lot better than most other pets, because they can hunt on their own, they know how to hide when they go to sleep, and also they're always covering up their piss and poop so that, they don't have to, animals can't track them as easily. Survival techniques, things that ferrets don't have any of, because ferrets are completely fearless. And also, another thing, they would get killed from their just eating, because ferrets, like I said, my ferret does not know the first thing about hunting. She'll play with a string, but she prefers to play with me, which is basically she jumps at me, and then I kind of tap her, and then she'll jump at me, and then I'll turn her on her back and tickle her tummy, and then she gets all excited about that, and then she jumps around afterward, and she's all happy. Sorry, so she doesn't even do the hunting. It's me hunting her in the play, because that's what, when you play with animals, it's kind of like the idea of hunting, play hunting. Anyways, so sorry, I just love my ferret, she's so cute. Anyways, so she wouldn't be able to hunt, and even if she found, maybe she was playing a little too hard with a tiny animal and it died, and she had meat in front of her, she would not eat it, because my ferret doesn't eat meat. You can feed here, come here, come be in the video about yourself, and lick my lips like you always do. She loves to give me kisses. So yeah, she does not want meat at all. She's a carnivore, by the way. So I've given her meat. I put meat right in front of her, raw or cooked, and she's just like, what's that? No, not interested. And she just freaking walks away. She has no interest in eating the meat. I've even put meat on top of her food. She moves it aside and eats her kibble. She just has no interest in eating meat. What she does have an interest in eating is everything else. So she's always trying to get my food, whether it be fruit, veggies, cereal, pasta, I don't know, milk even. She'll want it. Candy, she's freaking always trying to get my candy more than any other kind of food. Even though ferrets can't have candy, that'll kill you, hun. Anyways, she goes, and if I've been eating candy, my lips are sweet, she goes nuts freaking licking my lips more than usual. So yeah, she would go eating the berries. Some of them are poison, by the way, and so that would kill her, being poison. And even if not, if she only ate berries, especially, if a ferret eats vegetables, that could kill them, because it'll get them all stocked up to the point where they just can't, they'll kill them. There's this condition I know rats get, I don't know 100% of ferrets get it, but it's called megacolon, and I know firsthand that splits up their side. I had a pet rat who I got from an irresponsible breeder, and he just kept on getting rounder and rounder because he couldn't pass his stool, to be scientific. And then one day I found him with his side split open, because he just was he was eating, except he couldn't get it out of his body, and his side was split open because it ruptured. that'll happen to a ferret too if they only eat fruits and veggies, because again, they are a carnivore, and unlike other pets that are carnivores like cats and dogs who will occasionally eat the scraps off the table that are fruits and veggies. Before you say cats never do, I have a cat who fucking loves fruit. So yeah, we call him our little fruit bat because he's all black too. So anyways, and he's fluffy. So yeah, if Mitzi, my little ferret Mitzi was out in the wild, she'd eat all the berries and that's it, and she would die. So yeah, and because her mama didn't teach her how to hunt. Her mama was like, "Hon, if you get hungry, just eat the bowl, the kibble in the bowl." Because that's the thing about fully domesticated animals, is that they were never taught how to live in the wild because they don't have to, because their mothers didn't know how to live in the wild because they never lived in the wild. So if you're just saying that my pet ferret's going to be happier in the wild, I'm telling you for a fact, no. So, yeah, like, I've seen this with other animals too. Like, people always think that pets that aren't the typical cat or dog or hamster would be happier in the wild. Like, no, they wouldn't be. Or if they don't want the pet anymore, they'll freaking release it into the wild instead of doing the responsible thing and either finding a new owner or giving them to an animal shelter. That's the responsible thing to do. That's what you do if you don't want your pet anymore, because it's a pet. It's domesticated. It doesn't know how to take care of itself. It knows how to be taken care of. So, I don't care if it's a rat. Like, I've heard so many stories that they don't want the rat anymore, so they just let them out in the forest. Or snakes in Canada, they're letting them out in the forest, because snakes can take care of themselves. But the thing is that they are taking desert animals and letting them out in a northern climate, which it's perfectly comfy in the summer, but come winter they're going to freeze to death. Which I know the reptiles go to sleep, but they're used to desert. They've evolved to live in the desert. They're not like garter snakes, which live up in Canada and they're okay. We're talking about desert snakes being released in the wild in Canada. That's not cool. So here's the thing. Just as far as domestication goes on any kind of animal, even like people who are taking care of domesticated squirrels or larger animals like elephants, I've talked about this one before, and everything else, human beings are taking over more of the earth. So there's less places for animals to live in. So if we want... fucking hair is bothering me today. So if we want these animals to survive, they're going to have to learn how to live with us. And if they're being taken care of and they're surviving and they're reproducing and they're thriving, I mean, it's just another step, another way to go evolutionary-wise. Like, with the cats and dogs, they came to realize that living with humans is the way to go, so they started doing that, and then they changed to better be adopted, to look cuter, before even artificial breeding came into play, you know, to look cuter and to be, they developed mannerisms to, you know, try to get food from their humans by being cute and everything else, and the smaller ones were surviving because people want the small, cute, fluffy pet instead of the, you know, larger pet. In cases, it depends, you know, whatever. So you can see, and so instead of dying out when the humans were trying to take care of them, they started coexisting with the humans. And isn't that the ultimate goal anyways, to be one with nature and live with the animals kind of thing? Like, I don't consider myself to be like a tyrannical ruler of my pets. I'm technically a pet owner, and except I don't feel like I own the pet so much. I mean, I have a pet ferret, I call her my pet, I have a pet cat, I call him my pet, but I see the same way I feel like I'm their human, you know, they're my best friends, they, you know, they comfort me when I'm sad, they, you know, make me feel good and being all silly and adorable, and I give them things and I take care of them, and it's a symbiotic relationship. They provide me with something I need, which is comfort and joy and play and stimulation, because I feel like my pets are like my therapy animals, because I have issues with depression and anxiety, and nothing makes me feel better when I'm depressed or anxious like petting or snuggling with a cat or playing with my ferret. So they help me in a lot, and I help them by taking care of them. It's a perfect relationship, and they're perfectly happy. My ferret has tons of room to play. She has she's let out of her cage. Actually, the cage door is only enclosed when I go. I only lock her in her cage when I have to go outside the house and like leave and do something, or if I'm trying to sleep and she won't leave me the fuck alone. So she's got the whole freaking basement to herself to play and explore and do whatever the hell she wants. And she gets food, she gets water, she gets a playmate. It's all good. So I want to do little ferret goodbye, but she's off exploring, so just me goodbye. Bye, thanks for listening, or watching, or whatever, you get the idea.